My name is Fritz Kao, and I made this video with the intentions of informing people of historical facts, past, present, and future.
Some of us are against the Illuminati, and we are against the Illuminati at our own detriment.
Let me ask you this. What is happening in Hollywood that a guy that tough will be on the street waving a gun, screaming, "They are trying to kill me"?
Yeah. You've heard the rumors.
Actor and comedian Martin Lawrence was apprehended by Los Angeles police officers yesterday.
Yeah.
What's going on? Why is Dave Chappelle going to Africa? Why does Mariah Carey make a $100 million deal and take her clothes off on TRL? So what is happening in Hollywood? Nobody knows.
How free you think you are and what you can do. You do something this government doesn't want. They'll plant dope on you. They'll find something in your hotel room. They will do something and you'll be taken off. Or like usually, if you're a researcher, you'll just disappear and no one will know where you are and nobody wants to talk about it.
I tell people, look, when you call me, know that this conversation is being listened to. Plain and simple. I can't tell you how many times my MySpace, Facebook, email accounts, websites get shut down. You understand what I'm saying? I know they listening. You understand what I'm saying? To a degree, I know these days are numbered for me.
You do something this government doesn't want. They'll plant dope on you. They'll find something in your hotel room. They will do something and you'll be taken off.
I know there's 12 guys who run the fucking world, and they own every company, and you know it's fact. You can look it up. I'm not a conspiracy nut. This is all on paper.
They have us. They control us. They are our masters. Wake up. They're all about you, all around you.
I am just here to support the President of the United States. The President of the United States is, you know, our boss. But he's also, you know, the President and the First Lady are kind of like the mom and the dad of the country. And when your dad says something, you listen.
You know Obama ain't running shit. Pop it on the screen. That nigga ran for office and said, "I'm gonna stop both wars." And you know these wars is about what? Money, 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 money. Now we over in Afghanistan. You know what we there for? Opium. The 90% of the world's opium comes from holla at your boy. Now, in the Buddhist religion, they smoke opium. There's 1.6 billion Chinese. In order to control China, you must control opium. Now, one thing you know about American motherfucking history, wherever we land, we don't leave. We already got 3 bases, permanent bases in Iraq. We still in Vietnam, still in motherfucking Korea, still got a base in Japan. Everywhere we land, we don't leave. You know what I mean? I thought it was called the United States of America, not the United Empire of Earth. I want the young motherfuckers in here tonight, no matter what your nationality is, turn the motherfucking TV off for 1 week and see if you can survive. Motherfuckers are going to a television junkie motherfucking mode. Ain't no TV. I need my remote, nigga. I'm jonesing. It's called television programming. They telling you visually the program. You being programmed. You watch it on the news. It was on CNN, it's true. I seen it on Fox. It's real. It's bullshit. Think. It ain't illegal yet. But they working on it.
Dresses, have you ran into that? And what do you think about that whole Illuminati theory that people could put out there about that?
Well, thanks for that softball question. some of us are against the Illuminati, and we are against the Illuminati at our own detriment. When people are against the Illuminati, then they get punched in the face all the time. The press hates them. Nobody likes them. End quote.
We all love Dave Chappelle.
Exactly. Dave Chappelle has never been a part of the Illuminati. They don't want him or me or people like us. But now, it's not necessary for us to stir up that hornet's nest unless we intend to get stung a million times. I didn't understand that. They had to sting me a million times. I'm still not going to join.
Niggas in Hollywood just do the drugs right in front of you and act like ain't shit happened. You in the middle of a goddamn meeting. Yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the movie with you, and then we're gonna go back.
But Cat Williams was correct when he said those mansion parties, and y'all don't understand what go on with that shit, man.
Motherfuckers be gay in Hollywood, you never fucking expected. They be having these big ass mansion parties, and the mansion party, the whole mansion is a party, and then it's a separate party in the little rooms. I ain't been famous that goddamn long. I'm excited in a motherfucker to be at the mansion party. You be looking at all the goddamn rooms, and you fuck around and look in the wrong room and shit. Shut the goddamn door.
And I'm telling y'all right now, if y'all don't want to believe it, watch in the next couple of years. They coming after Cat Williams. Cat Williams tell too much truth.
Caught on tape in a video going viral. Comedian Cat Williams allegedly punching a Woodland Target employee.
This is Cat Williams right here in one of his previous mugshots. The comedian actor, well known among many, but that man says he does not believe this guy's funny. In fact, he says Williams entered this Target store, punched him, and now he is out of a job. Lately, Williams has made a habit of getting into trouble and arrested. There was a bizarre incident with a heckler during a show in Oakland as a bizarre performance took place. Then a police chase in Sacramento that happened right after this confrontation.
They took my children from me.
Yeah, I mean,
how terrible is that?
I didn't. Sorry about it. They found guns and drugs now.
Drugs?
That's what it was reported.
Sir, you can look at my paperwork. There was no drugs. Weed is not a drug.
Yeah. I mean, do you think that's safe for kids to be around guns and stuff like that? I mean, I'm just curious.
How do you keep the kids safe without guns? They were in a lockbox that the police broke.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm saying, if the police come in and raid my place and break into my gun boxes, you're gonna find guns. But these aren't. Well, I'm not in a gang. What difference does it make?
Now, you were actually stopped for this and let go because you have a license for it.
No,
right?
This is their 9th time coming to my house. The problem was this time they came to my office and took my kids from an office, not from my house, from an office. So now when I can't have my kids at my office,
that's an issue.
I must be
the
most terrible black dude. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X ended up dead for telling the truth. So as a comedian, I don't think it won't happen to me. I think they've thrown me in jail 36 times in 36 months, and I think you've never seen me in a court of law. That means they're effing with me.
Como 4 caught up with Williams as he was ejected from a South Lake Union hotel around 7 p.m. On Sunday, Williams was arrested after an altercation at a nearby restaurant. Police say he argued with customers and threatened the manager with a pool cue. Williams is accused of then throwing a lit cigarette into a family's car, which hit a woman in the face, throwing a rock at that car, and struggling with police officers. A group of fans claims Williams assaulted them after his performance Friday night. Tonight, Williams admitted to us he has had trouble with the law here in Seattle this weekend. He made a string of allegations against police and the media. Then he told us because of his bad weekend in Seattle, he's decided to end his stand-up career.
I'm just going to go ahead and announce my retirement from stand-up. I'm kind of done. This is...
You're not really retired.
I've already discussed it with my kids. I wasn't really going to do it on the Seattle street.
You retired from comedy in 2012, and now you're back. Why and why?
To come back, it means you went somewhere. And you either went somewhere because your fan base said, have a seat. Or yourself or some entity had you take a seat.
Yeah.
There was a lesson that I needed to learn. And God helps me, because if you're slow, he understands you slow. And
And tell us that lesson, because I think they need and want to hear it.
Well, I'm saying I'm in a weird position as a person in Hollywood. I'm saying anyway, just because of the amount of truth that I will tell, and the fact that I take joy in it. And there's no way that you can tell that much truth without offending certain portions of the population. And so now you have to figure out how you're going to handle that.
So let me ask you this about the house situation with your house getting burnt down. Do you think the Illuminati has something to do with that, to try to send you a message to try to quiet you, or?
Well, this is something I've never really said on film. I've said it on film, but I have that particular tape locked away in my safe behind my desk, and no one has ever heard me say this. But I think it's time that we kind of get this out in the open. That you know, on the Occult Science Radio interview and World Star and some other interviews that I've done, I've actually talked about the blood and the human sacrifice. Well, I'm gonna look right in the camera and say this. I was supposed to be that blood human sacrifice for Public Enemy, but I survived it. Do you understand what I'm saying? And since I survived it and I'm talking about it now it's imperative that these people silence me. Plain and simple. I've told you about people that I had to deal with right in front of my door right here. Do you understand what I'm saying? I tell people, look, when you call me, know that this conversation is being listened to. Plain and simple. I can't tell you how many times my MySpace, Facebook, email accounts, websites get shut down. Do you understand what I'm saying? I know they listening. Do you understand what I'm saying? To a degree, I know these days are numbered for me. You understand what I'm saying? But I have to do what I have to do, because I know they got to do what they have to do. My house burning down, that wasn't no accident. I had 3,000 books, man. All my books couldn't even fit in these 3 rooms.
That's real.
You understand what I'm saying? I mean, I had a DVD library that'll blow your mind. And to come home, I wasn't even in town at the time. To come home and look at the shell of my house, I'm like, God damn. So I'm walking in, you know, with a wet T-shirt over my mouth. I'm going through, see if I could salvage some things. It was like critical. And then for the insurance company to fight me tooth and nail, even down to the lawyers, man, just probably paid off.
To be an actor is a lonely life. Everybody wants to make it, and you might not make it. Name your price in the beginning. If it ever gets more expensive than the price you name, get out of there.
When Martin Lawrence was in that chair, we talked about Blue Streak.
I love that dude.
He played a role in your life, I believe. How do you feel about him as a person, as an artist?
Martin Lawrence is the guy that showed everybody you can make it from D.C. to Hollywood. You know, when we did Blue Streak, we were promoting it, and Martin had a stroke. He almost died. And then after that, I saw him, and I was like, oh my God, Martin, are you okay? And he said, I got the best sleep I ever got in my life. That's how tough he is. So let me ask you this. What is happening in Hollywood that a guy that tough will be on the street waving a gun, screaming, they are trying to kill me?
Yeah.
You've heard the rumors.
Actor and comedian Martin Lawrence was apprehended by Los Angeles police officers yesterday after he was discovered in the middle of one of LA's most congested streets, hurling obscenities at passing cars.
You've read the reports.
He had a body temperature registering at slightly over 107 degrees Fahrenheit. He was in a coma.
Martin's acting like a madman. Now, get the truth.
Yeah.
What's going on? Why is Dave Chappelle going to Africa? Why does Mariah Carey make a $100 million deal and take her clothes off on TRL? A weak person cannot get to sit here and talk to you. Ain't no weak people talking to you. So what is happening in Hollywood? Nobody knows. The worst thing to call somebody is crazy, is dismissive. I don't understand this person, so they're crazy. That's bullshit. These people are not crazy. They're strong people. Maybe the environment is a little sick. Oh, I'm dropping dimes tonight. I've had a long year, Mr. Lipton. I get a call on my cell phone from HollyWood. I'm like, hello, HollyWood. They're like, hello, Dave. They're like, that pilot you did for Fox, looks like they want to pick it up. We need you to come out because they want to meet with you. And I was like, well, listen, I can't really come out right now. Got a real bad situation at home. Can we talk about this on the phone? No, they would rather meet with you in person. But you know, like the whore that they turned us into. I jumped on that plane and left my father's bedside, which I regret to this day. HollyWood is a very powerful illusion. And when your dad died, it kind of just broke the spell. Like, oh, this is bullshit. Look, I've been spending so much time doing this. What about my family? What about my friends? Wait, whatever happened to my friends? Damn, I don't even have any friends. And that was it. As far as I was concerned, I was done with show business. I was freaked out, man, with the fame thing and being called crazy and drug addict and all these things. Scared me. You know, being treated that way. Like I'm not a person anymore. You say this shit about me in front of my children and you know, who the f*** do these people think they are? I walked away from the show twice last season. Nobody asked about that. You know, in one of these magazines, Newsweek, it's a very credible magazine. And they're saying, you know, maybe I smoke crack, and it was all innuendo. And the magazine as credible as Newsweek, I was very surprised that this was happening. And the higher up I go, for some reason, the less happy I am. You know, is it going to get to the point where I'm doing a striptease on TRL or waving a gun on the street, saying they're trying to kill me? There's only 6 studios, man. There's only 6 agencies, man. This is a small, controlled thing. I mean, I'm a conspiracy theorist to a degree. Like, when I connect dots that maybe shouldn't be connected, I don't know. But certain dots, like when I see that they put every black man in the movies in a dress at some point in their career, I'll be connecting them down like, wow, all these brothers gotta wear a dress. This happened to me. They come in, it's the writer comes in, I think he's the writer, he's like, Dave, listen, we got this hilarious scene where Martin's sneaking out of jail, so he disguises you as a prostitute. And he put this dress on, and what, the prostitute? No, I'm not doing that. I don't feel comfortable with that. That should have been in the discussion. What? You don't feel comfortable with it? I mean, it's a hilarious bit. All the greats have done it. So, well, if all the greats have done it, it's kind of hacky, right? You're right. So why don't we just not do it? Because I don't feel comfortable wearing a dress. Oh, come on, Dave, listen, we got it all set up. We're supposed to shoot. Every minute you waste costs this much money. You know, the pressure comes in. He said, I'm not wearing no dress, man. I'm funnier than a dress. Just give me something funny to say. I don't need to wear no dress to be funny. What am I, Milton Berle? You know, we're going like this. And then finally he's like, and he leaves. And then, like, the director comes, Dave, it really would be great if you wear the dress. What is wrong? What is this, Brokeback Mountain in here? So the minute it was clear, I was adamant. I'm not wearing a dress. I'm not wearing the dress. All right, fine. Think of something else. Guy comes back 10 minutes later. The whole new scene. Hot damn, how did you write the scene so fast? You know, it's like, so you gotta take a sting. Y'all see that guy get tasered at John Kerry's speech on YouTube? That shit was the greatest shit of all time.
For a strategy that has failed. That's the distinction. Sir.
I first and foremost want to thank you for your time. You spent a lot of time talking to those here today. I want to thank you for coming and being open and honest. My question, I'm going to preface it. He's been talking for 2 hours. I think I can have 2 minutes. Thank you very much. All right. There's also voting machines, electronic voting machines in Volusia County, Florida, that counted backwards. So amidst all these reports of phony, bogus stuff going on, how could you concede the election on the day? How did you concede the 2004 election on the day? When in this book, it says there were 5 million votes that were suppressed and you won the election. Didn't you want to be president? I'm not even done yet. I have 2 more questions. If you were so against Iran, how come you're not saying, let's impeach Bush now? Impeach Bush now before you can invade Iran. Why don't we impeach him? Impeach Bush. Clinton was impeached for what? A blowjob? Why don't we impeach Bush? All right? Also, were you a member of Skull and Bones from college and Bush? Were you in the same secret society as Bush? Were you in Skull and Bones? Thank you for cutting my mic. Thank you. Are you going to arrest me? Excuse me. Excuse me. What are you arresting me for? Whoa, 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 whoa. Why are they arresting me? Did someone do something here? I'm being arrested.
Because it's a very important question.
What did I do? Get off me. You know what? Get off me. Get the fuck off me, man. I didn't do anything. Don't tase me, bro. Don't tase me. I didn't do anything. Ow! 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 Ow!
He was like, "Don't you taser me, man!" Help! He was like, "Help!" And 900 people were like, "No, we're not going to help you." And the best part about it was you could hear John Kerry talking over the whole incident. Did you hear that shit? He was hearing in the background, blah, 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 blah. Did y'all hear what he asked John Kerry to get himself tasered? Did you hear the question? You didn't hear the question? He was like, "Is it not true, Senator Kerry, that you are a member of Skull and Crossbones, a secret society with George Bush?" And Kerry was like, "That's a very good question, and I'm going to answer that question."
You were both in Skull and Bones, the secret society.
It's so secret we can't talk about it.
What does that mean for America? The conspiracy theorists are going to go
I'm
wild.
sure they are. I don't know. I haven't seen the web.
Number 322.
You both were members of Skull and Bones, a secret society at Yale. What does that tell us? Not much, because it's a secret. Is there a secret handshake? Is there a secret code? I wish there were something secret I could manifest. 322, a secret number?
Dear friends, and this is all in fun. Well, Paul was with me once when I first fucked my first faggot. And he's been holding that over my head for 2 years. I fucked a faggot. I just want to say it now so nobody else can tell.
I wasn't talking about homosexuals. I'm saying there's a homosexual ritual that they go through in the Illuminati secret societies. In Skull and Bones, they're made to lay in a coffin and masturbate and tell all their sexual secrets.
I have no illusions about these cocksuckers. I know there's 12 guys who run the fucking world, and they own every company, and you know, it's fact. You can look it up. I'm not a conspiracy nut. This is all on paper. There really are 22 families who run and own 50% of the mainstream media, which is where we get our news. And it's true. It's a fact. You can look it up. I don't, you know, I can't be this big of an asshole without having the truth to back me up.
Every human on this planet is enslaved, whether they know it or not. This is not the crude and primitive slavery of ancient times. It does not rely on whips and shackles to keep the oppressed in their place. These tools have been rendered obsolete by much more sophisticated methods. That most of the enslaved are unaware of their condition and would in fact argue fiercely that they are free is a testament to the effectiveness of these invisible chains. You heard the expression, money makes the world go round. There's truth in that. Money is the prime motive for human labor in modern civilization. If you want food, shelter, and clothing, you must have money. And unless you're part of that tiny minority that has more money than they could ever spend in their lifetime, then you must work, beg, or steal for that money. That's why you get up in the morning and go to work, even if you hate your job. And that's why the specter of unemployment is more terrifying for most people than the prospect of spending 50 years of their life performing menial tasks within the confines of a fluorescent-lit cubicle.
On the back of the $1 bill, you'll see the crest with the pyramid in it. But that pyramid in the Illuminati consists of 3 pyramids and a sphinx, but their crest is this crest. The Illuminati is the occult organization that we belong to. It means the light bearers. The eye is Lucifer. The triangle of the capstone is the tribunal of the Rothschild family, which is called the Holy Family. They lead the Illuminati. The Illuminati name's not used much anymore, except by everyday people who find out about it. And the political part has a name in each country, and the United States is called the Council of Foreign Relations. Since the time of Woodrow Wilson, including him, there has never been a president of the United States that was not an Illuminati. You may think you elect a president, but I'm here to tell you, you elect whoever they put up.
This right here is David Rockefeller.
Let me illustrate. Improved public health has caused the world's infant mortality rate to decline by 60% over the last 40 years. In the same period, the world's average life expectancy has increased from 46 years in 1950s to 63 years today. This is a development which, as individuals, we can only applaud. However, the result of these positive measures is a world population that has risen during the same short period of time geometrically to almost 6 billion people and could easily exceed 8 billion by the year 2020.
You need to do some research on David Rockefeller.
And Henry Kissinger. Depopulation should be the highest priority of the U.S. foreign policy towards the third world. Quote from Henry Kissinger. Control oil and you control nations. Control food and you control the people. Henry Kissinger.
So what they're doing is systematically killing off large populations of third world countries.
I learned an awful lot from Mr. Rockefeller. And one of the things that we used to talk about was the ultimate plan of the banking industry, what they wanted to accomplish. And the goals of the banking industry, not just the Federal Reserve System, but the private banks in Germany and England, all over Italy, all over the world, they all work together. They're all central banks, and they're all part of the Communist Manifesto. You know, central banking is one of the major planks of the Communist Manifesto. We talk about America being a capitalistic country, but yet at the same time we have a central bank that plans everything for us, right? And the graduated income tax is another plank of the Communist Manifesto, right? So right there you have 2 major planks of the Communist Manifesto that have been brought in because of the Federal Reserve System, okay? So the ultimate goal that these people have in mind is the goal to create a one-world government where everybody has an RFID chip implanted in them. All money is to be in those chips, right? There'll be no more cash. And this is given me straight from Rockefeller himself. This is what they want to accomplish. And all money will be in your chips. And so instead of having cash, anytime you have money in your chip, they can take out whatever they want to take out whenever they want to. If they say you owe us this much money in taxes, they just deduct it out of your chip digitally.
Total control.
Total control. And if you're like me or you, and you're protesting what they're doing, you can just turn off your chip.
Their goal is to destroy all existing religions save theirs, all existing governments save theirs, and shackle the mob in a system of eternal oppressive debt chained to a computer for the rest of their life, in a propagandized world to make them believe that they are happy in this system. They're succeeding because the American people don't understand their enemy. They don't even know what's happening.
Some people believe we are part of a secret cabal working against the best interests of the United States
characterizing my family and me as internationalists, and of conspiring with others around the world to build a more integrated global political and economic structure. One world, if you will. If that's the charge, I stand guilty and I am proud of it.
Well, he didn't say New World Order. Oh, so you need him to say New World Order. Okay. All we need is the right major crisis, and the nations will accept the New World Order.
Just how rich and powerful is Lord Evelyn Rothschild? Historically, the Rothschild family wealth was hidden in underground vaults. The Rothschilds' secret financial records were never audited and never accounted for. Their family commissioned biographies give the illusion that their family fortune has dwindled, but researchers estimate their wealth at close to $500 trillion, more than half the wealth of the entire world. They have controlling interest in 3 major television networks and easily avoid media attention since they own it. They own controlling interest in the world's largest oil company, Royal Dutch Shell. Although Evelyn Rothschild looks like a harmless gray-haired old man, make no mistake about it, Rothschild and his ancestors have handpicked presidents, crashed stock markets, bankrupted nations, orchestrated wars, and sponsored the mass murder and impoverishment of millions.
Historic events we owe to the Rothschilds. Opium trading and opium wars, thanks Rothschilds. Slave trading industry, thanks again the Rothschilds. There is way more info. Do some research yourself.
And a lot of people don't know this. And then people don't realize who brought the slaves to America. They were Jewish ships.
Wait a minute, that's a whole nother thing. Let's take a break, because what the issue that we're talking about today is whether or not there was a Holocaust. We'll talk about slavery and who brought them here later.
Yes, I have a comment and a question.
And make it very quickly, because we've got to go to commercial.
First of all, I have the greatest sympathy for all innocent people who die in war, but the Jewish experience is not unique. I happen to be of Ukrainian descent, and 7 million of my people were murdered, and a disproportionate number of the perpetrators of these crimes in the Ukrainian famine, happened to be Jews. Trotsky, Beria, Dzerzhinsky, and I'd like to know when I'm going to get my reparations for my murdered relatives.
Okay, that's also another issue. We'll take a break and we'll answer when we come back.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
In a letter dated 22 January 1870, Mazzini wrote to Pike. Now, Albert Pike is this high mason who wrote this, the manual, if you like, of Scottish Freemasonry. He said the following: "We must allow all of the federations to continue just as they are. It must appear as things are as they were in the beginning, with their systems, their central authorities, and diverse modes of correspondence between high grades of the same right, organized as they are at present, but we must create a super right, which will remain unknown, to which we will call those Masons of high degree, whom we shall select. With regard to our brothers in Masonry, these men must be pledged to the strictest secrecy. Through this supreme right, we will govern all Freemasonry, which will become the one international center, the more powerful because its direction will be unknown." Now, Albert Pike wrote a letter to Mancini, and that was dated August 15, 1871, in which he propagated that there should be a world order, a one order where all nations are under the control of one central organization. And in order to achieve this, they planned, and there are numerous quotes for this, so I've put a number on the screen, because some will say, I don't trust this, I don't trust that, I don't trust the other. Here are references down there, there are references up there, there will be references in other slides, so it comes from different sources. He said, and this was, by the way, on display in the British Museum, and could be seen there until it was taken away. The First World War, to overthrow the power of the Tsars in Russia, protector of orthodoxy, and bring about an atheistic communistic state. Did that happen? Yes. Now that was written long before this event. Long before this event. This was written in 1871, but this war broke out in 1914. The Second World War, that's also written long before the event, to originate between Great Britain and Germany, to strengthen communism as antithesis to the Judeo-Christian culture, and bring about a Zionist state in Israel. Did it achieve this objective? Yes. In fact, after this war, Israel, in its present form, was reinstated under the protection of Britain. And then, interestingly enough, a Third World War, a Middle Eastern war involving Judaism and Islam and spreading internationally. That's fascinating. Is that on the cards, or what do you think?
That which we must say to the crowd is, we worship a God, but it is the God that one adores without superstition. To you, Sovereign Grand Inspectors General, we say this, that you may repeat it to the brethren of the 32nd, 31st, and 30th degrees. The Masonic religion should be, by all of us initiates of the high degree, maintained in the purity of the Luciferian doctrine.
They do not believe in Lucifer. They do not believe in any entity called a devil, and they do not believe in God. It is a mistake for you to assume that they do. Their whole purpose throughout history has been to teach a small number of people how to become adept at controlling everyone else, and presenting their societies as desirable to the profane, so that you'll go knock on the door and say, hey, can I be a member and be initiated, with the promise of learning some great secret. What is that secret? The secret is how to control everybody else. And you never understand how to control everybody else until you get to the top of this pyramid of initiation. Most people never make it past the third step. All above that are carefully chosen and nurtured and taught. And Americans, for all these years, have been looking around for the enemy. They've never been able to find an enemy. You see, the enemy has always been here. It's your uncle, your aunt, your father, your mother, your brother, your sister, your nephew, your nieces, who belong to the fraternal orders collectively known as the mysteries. There's a method to their madness. There's really not much method to yours, because you're operating from a place of ignorance. And until you change that, you're going to be bumbling around, bumping into each other, saying and doing the wrong things, not understanding the nature of your enemy. And if you don't understand the nature of your enemy and the weapons they use, you cannot fight that enemy.
I found a sermon from the 30s by Dr. Alva J. McLean, and he went into these Masonic lodges and got some material. He was a preacher, and found all this stuff and was preaching against why nobody should join them, why they're satanic. One of the arguments he used was, George Washington owned slaves.
How can you be a decent person when you you say you own another human being? Freemasons have a very racist history.
She was, you know her story, don't you? She was an actress that she was kind of a foul-mouthed person, you know, and she hated the whole Hollywood scene, and she expressed her hatred for them publicly. So then there's this big conspiracy amongst a judge, a very well-known, prominent judge here in Seattle, and a bunch of other people who had ties with Hollywood, and they basically just set her up and ruined her life. You know, they had some pictures taken of her when she was arrested for drunk driving, and it was a big, huge scandal. And she eventually was sent to a mental institution and given a lobotomy.
That's where she was institutionalized, right over there.
This is what happens to people who try and expose the elite. Remember what happens to people who try to change the system.
Its mistakes are buried, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised. No rumor is printed, no secret is revealed.
Have you noticed all across the country right now, they are creating victim classes of people? Why do you think that is? Because victims need care. Once you create a victim that needs care, you have another vote for socialism, don't you? This country is about freedom. Because only with freedom can you have all of the other things that everybody professes that they want. Do you understand what I'm talking about? What is our common bond truly? Freedom. Freedom. Without freedom, you can't be a Christian no matter what denomination you belong to. You can't be a Buddhist. You can't be an American, because that's what it's all about, and that's the only thing that it's all about. Nothing else. Nothing else.
When it gets down to having to use violence, then you are playing the system's game. The establishment will irritate you, pull your beard, flick your face to make you fight. Because once they've got you violent, then they know how to handle you. The only thing they don't know how to handle is nonviolence and humor.